Welcome to the Pelican Brief with your host, David Tapman.
Welcome to the Pelican Brief. I am your host, David Tapman. We are honored to have a special guest in studio today, Richie Edmonds, who is running for House District 66. Is that correct?
66.
Yeah, out in South, I consider it South Baton Rouge, Southeast Baton Rouge. So welcome to the studio. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. No doubt it's been a great morning, and glad to sit down with you for a few moments.
Well, I appreciate that, and I've enjoyed working with you in the past in your work on the Republican Parish Executive Committee and your commitment to our community. So thank you so much. So I gave like a little brief introduction, but why don't you take a moment to tell your audience a little bit about yourself?
Well, I appreciate it. Yeah, so Richie Edmonds, love of my life, Holly Lively Edmonds, for 23 years. We actually dated several years before that, so I think we're going on 30 years together. She's a physician assistant in town, and she makes me. How about that? So I have to definitely give her all the credit. We were blessed with 3 young children. I have an 8th grader, Sullivan, a son, and then two little girls, Ramsey and Stella. Wow. And wow, what a blessing. So it is just a pleasure to be here. You know, I've blinked, and next year I will turn 50.
Wow.
And but a graduate, talking about District 66, I graduate of District 66 from Parkview Baptist.
All right.
A graduate from LSU here in Baton Rouge. I had the privilege I've been in this district for 35 years. Wow. It's made me. Molded me, and I like to say a lot of time it's raised me. Mm-hmm. And so now I'm just looking for an opportunity to continue to serve in District 66. It's been great.
Well, I appreciate you offering yourself for public service. As we know it, as I know, and I think you know, it can be very difficult and very challenging, but it can also be very rewarding. So thank you so much for offering yourself for public service. So again, I know you serve on some other boards and things like that, but what made you want to run for the Louisiana House of Representatives?
Well, you know, District 66 is close to me,
yeah.
Very close. My father is the current state representative of the district for 8 years, and he's done a fabulous job.
He has, yes.
But not only that, being involved with the Republican Party PEC over the years, being part of the Republican Party of Louisiana over the years, and serving on different boards and whatnot, even starting my own business 14 years ago, vertical construction in the district. This district has always been solid. It's very conservative. They very family oriented, driven, very faith oriented. If you just look at the number of churches and large churches, from the St. George to Most Blessed to Helam Place to Parkview Baptist to Woodlawn Baptist, I mean, the list goes on. Very faith-oriented, and I grew up in that. Mm-hmm. Now, over the 8 years, I've watched my dad serve. Mm-hmm. Even before that, though, we had like Senator Bodie White, who represents a large majority that is very conservative. Even way back, even to the 80s, we had Representative Woody Jenkins, who actually served within the District of 66. So District 66, in my opinion, calls for a conservative leader. Mm-hmm. We've made strides in that area, and it's a great district. Mm-hmm. And I want to continue on. I want to walk in those footsteps, follow in those shoes. Yeah. And so just very excited to do it. So many people, hundreds of people, thousands of people in that district that really have raised me. I mean, from Sunday school teachers to coaches to teachers, working together, subcontractors that I work, and I just want to continue to serve them. So my mom and dad always say that, boy, you were raised to serve.
That's right.
And so that's what I want to do. I want to continue to be raised to serve, and and raised in District 66, my community.
Well, look, I appreciate that. I'll tell you, I've been in Baton Rouge since 1990, so I guess 33 years. I mean 33 years. I'm sorry. And when I moved to Baton Rouge, St. George was our church, and it was you probably remember this. It was a two-way. It was a two-way road. No Segan Marketplace. Right. No big church. You would catch the train at where the overpass is now. Yeah. And so that's how long ago I came here. And now the St. George is, I don't know, it's got to be one of the biggest church parishes in the Baton Rouge area from an archdiocese standpoint. But you're right, there's some big churches
very big, very large
in the district.
And that's another. I mean, just being in the district since the late 80s, 35 years. I mean, literally, I was married in the district. Mm-hmm. I bought my first home in the district.
Right.
Had our children in the district. But we always joke, Coursey and Jones Creek Crossing, I got my first speeding ticket. In the district, pulling out of the McDonald's. So anyway, we have been a part of the district and the community, and we love District 66.
But that was a long, long time ago.
That was a long time ago. No more of that.
So one of the things that we like to do on this show is, we play a game. We say, okay, so Richie, last night you were elected, and then we have to kind of fantasize a little bit because it takes a long time before you take office. And then tomorrow you put on your shoes and you are a state representative of Edmonds. What are the things that you want to do both for the state of Louisiana and for your district when you get elected? What are going to be your big issues?
So right out of the gate, just knowing this district, knowing the schools in the district, and I know you have a lot of time spent, blood, sweat, and tears
yes.
with the school board and whatnot. We can list the schools, and the reason is because the student population that we have in that district, from Woodlawn, middle, high school, elementary, southeast. The old Runnels is now a charter. Basis is there now as a charter. Down on Bluebonnet Extension, we have the new school that they just opened called Great Hearts, a charter school. Then go into the private schools, St. George, Most Blessed, St. John Vianney, Parkview, Episcopal, a lot of schools in the district. So one of my number one things is school and education. There's a lot of talk going on about school choice, whether it's public, private, charter. I think it's a great idea. I think working with Cade, Superintendent Cade, working even with our school board to try to figure out the best plan for school choice, the best plan for some of the dollars following the students, which we call the ESA accounts, that I think would be very beneficial to public school students that would now have the opportunity for other opportunities in private schools, but also benefit some of the private school students that are going to private schools that pay property taxes, but don't benefit
and
sales tax, but don't benefit on the flip because they pay the private school tuitions and whatnot. And I just think it'd be a better competitive environment. Some of our schools will grow. I think it would bring the families more involved in our schools, and that's really the driving force for it. So, but education would be huge. I would love to serve on the education committee if they would have me, as a freshman. But second, leading from education would be crime. We're knocking doors all the time, meeting with business leaders. I met with a Metro councilman yesterday, met with school board member the week before, and where they're going to these town hall meetings and whatnot, we're talking about crime. Mm-hmm. Now, District 66 may be a little insulated from, maybe some of the other more metropolitan areas but we still are within the region of crime. I mean, if you're talking in the state, Baton Rouge, Shreveport, New Orleans, being some of the highest, in the entire country of crime rates, we have to be able to try to figure out a solving point to it. Mm-hmm. We have to solve it, and we have to solve it quickly. So, crime would be something very important, very top on my list. With working with police officers, working with cities to try to figure out, look, we're going to back the blue. We want to give them every resource that we can to known demand that we can invest and everything else. But we also we need to get inside the communities, and we got the families and the men and the women and the moms and the dad, the grandparents, to be able to try to curb some of the crime And I think that goes back to education. So we're in our schools every day, and we're working in our schools, and we're trying to give them a positive approach to education that can curb crime. And I know a lot of it seems cliche, and especially during campaign season, but it is really something that we have to hit the ground running and we have to work on, because perception means everything. And the perception of our state, having 3 of our cities high crime, it's got to change. I mean, it has to. And I want to do that. Third that we hear on the street is knocking doors is insurance. And so, I know we have a new insurance commissioner coming in. We're obviously going to have a new governor, basically a new House that I'm in Senate side. So we have to start fast, whether that's special session in January or even February. But we have to do something with insurance rates, from homeowners to car insurance, even over to medical, and then even in business side, even with me, business. I mean, liability, workers' compensation. It's out of the roof right now, and I want to work hand in hand with insurance commissioner to see what we can do and fix some of our insurance in the state as well. So all the problems that are issues. I don't really want to say problems, but all the issues, the challenges that I think Louisiana faces, District 66 is concerned about.
Yeah.
And we want to do our part.
Well, all the public opinion research shows that the 3 things you just mentioned, education, crime, and insurance, are the biggest issues. And depending on where you live, they may switch order, but they're all still in there, right? They're all still really in there. And then, so I'll go to the education piece and just share with you. You have 2 more schools coming. You have the one that is on Perkins Road, right there, Perkins Road near Segan.
Kenilworth.
Yeah. So, and I signed the contract on that when I was president. We were able to actually buy 2 school sites with the dollars that were for 1 school site, and then the other big school, it'll be a high school. It'll be the South Baton Rouge High School. That's what we refer to it. It's going to be kind of over there. I don't mean to give plugs, but kind of where the old Office Depot used to be. I guess it's Total Wines now. That big open field along the interstate. We purchased that land, and that will be a large high school. So you're absolutely right. I mean, St. George has got to be one of the biggest schools in the diocese, if not the biggest school. Woodlawn's the largest high school in the entire district for the whole parish, and so they're building more. And so clearly there is demand and need for that. And then, you're right about the insurance. I can tell you that I have friends who are state representatives who live down in the south part of the state that are telling stories about how young couples are turning their keys into the bank because they can't afford the mortgage note and the flood and the homeowner's insurance,
and the 16-year-old going onto their insurance.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, I mean, even if the kids walked, they couldn't. But it's really sad when you see things like that. And of course, we can't do a whole lot about the flood except for fight the feds on it and get some considerations relative to the work we have been doing with protecting our coastline. I mean, we haven't done it everywhere, but there are areas where risk rating 2.0, the flood insurance, is not actually taking into account new flood walls, new barriers, things like that. But remember, and you know this because you're a businessman, insurance is pooled risk. So people in Shreveport are suffering too, just maybe not as much as people in South Louisiana. And that's the thing about being a state representative, right? It is the fact that when you vote, you not only affect your district, but you affect everyone in the state of Louisiana, and that's a heavy load.
Right. And that, we kind of break it down and just, in a way following the lead of that I've watched my father walk in. It's been great. Our number one priority is District 66, obviously. Great district again. A lot of people, over 30-something thousand. Yeah. On the voter roll, so that's even more of the people that aren't. A high percentage of voters. So turnout's always great. We always talked about students, always great. Schools, great. And so we have a great opportunity in District 66, our number one priority. But then it rolls into the state, and from the north all the way to south, east, or west. And as a candidate and as a sitting representative, District 66 expects that representation to not only just represent them, but be like the floor leaders
Sure.
down, be the committee chair,
Sure.
be the ones that are making the grounds and moving, and they expect a leader for that seat. And I think you even see it across the state. Other reps, other senators, you mentioned District 66,
Sure.
they know, well, so I want to do that. I feel, we talk about calling. I'm a preacher's kid, and so
Yes, you are.
being a preacher's kid, you have seasons in life and you have callings and whatnot, and so I believe the season is now, and a great time to be called to come and serve this district.
No,
I'm excited.
I agree, and again, I applaud you for offering yourself for public service. A lot of people will call you and tell you what you didn't do well, but not everybody calls you and thanks you for all the great work you did. So, so let's go to this, because this is one of the things. You've got your platform and everything together. How are you going to win the race? Tell us how you're going to win it.
Well, we are, since January now, we've been working hard. I honestly never thought when I jumped in the race or considered, prayed about it, and decided to run for this seat that January would be the kickoff date to begin the campaigning. So I am looking forward to Saturday, early voting.
Right.
And then this next week of early voting, but I'm also looking forward to October 14th and kind of getting to the goal, the fourth quarter per se, right? We hold our hands up like we do at LSU football game. Right. But how we winning is we are meeting people, knocking doors. We have raised great money. People have been so supportive. We're running ads, obviously. We have lots of mailers that go out. All the campaign things, knocking doors, flyers that I carry around in my pocket. That to anybody and everywhere. Even have business cards. But it's all about meeting people. So if I'm at a church setting, if I'm at a football game like I was last night, a lunching that I'll be at later. Whatever it is, if at 5 o'clock somewhere, I will be, and it's meeting people, and you just listen and shake their hand, talk, just have a conversation in a way. A lot of it's just like I said, meeting people. I'm at restaurants, and I'll get up and walk around and talk to people. It's just what you do. So I think we have a great plan. We have a great team, a great group of friends, great group of family. I have the support of a lot of organizations. I've been endorsed by the state Republican Party. So not only the East Baton Rouge Parish Republican Party, but the state Republican Party. And they haven't endorsed many state representative candidates or even state senator candidates. They've done more of the statewide racing. But I've been endorsed by them. LABI, very supportive. Louisiana Contractors. I'm a contractor. Louisiana Realtors. I hold my realtors. NRA, A+, AQ rating now, because the questionnaire for a candidate is how you answer that questionnaire. Right. We've never had a voting record, so it's an AQ rating. Right. But NRA, and then Louisiana Right to Life has been something, because that's always been dear to our family, myself, my wife, my mom and dad, and fighting for the lives of the unborn and children. No matter what. Yeah. So they've been very supportive with a lot of people. Then we have a lot of great St. George support, a lot of school support from around the community of different private schools and public schools. So it's been really good. So we have a good game plan. We're going to keep moving forward the next couple of weeks. Like I said, meeting people.
Well, it sounds like you're definitely doing the work. So as we talked about pre-show, when I drive out of my neighborhood, I see your district. If I go right, I'm in your district. If I go left, I'm in your district. So I'm a little bit on an island out there, but I see a lot of your signs, and I see a lot of the advertising and marketing you're doing. And I know you've been out there working. It's funny. One of the candidates mentioned on the show the other day that they started in June and they felt like they had started early, and then they realized that they were way behind. Right. And so, look, a lot of times you actually are a year out doing it. So even in January is a tough start. But, having been doing this for 23, almost 24 years, it's all about relationships. So just like the relationships you're building in your community or enhancing in your community, that's how it is at the Capitol. It's about relationships, working with other legislators, understanding their districts, taking in all the data, which you probably do as a contractor, and trying to figure out all the details. So much of this really is about relationships.
Yeah, and that's we really learned a lot. I mean, it's just like contracting. I mean, I can't just go build the home. I mean, we have to start with a foundation,
right.
And that is form up, dig out, and rough in and concrete.
Right.
And then you have another crew come in and frame, and another crew electrical, another crew plumbing,
right.
another crew roofing, whatnot. A lot of the same things in the systems of what we're going to be dealing with
right.
government. And you have to have partnerships. I don't want to be out on my own island doing my own thing. I want to be called upon to be a floor leader. I want to be called upon to, they say, go to the well, speak there as less as possible.
Right.
But when you do, speak with leadership and, standards that they know that people can trust.
Right.
And so I want to build partnerships from the House side with delegations and caucuses over to the Senate side, the committees working together, working with our different statewide officials that are elected from the governor, lieutenant governor, commissioner of insurance, obviously, secretary of state, everyone. I want to make Louisiana great. I don't want to leave. I'm not going to.
Right.
You know it. I know it. We've had a lot of our friends probably leave.
My son left.
Tennessee, Florida, Texas,
Virginia.
And when we all talk about it, and it's one of the things we say on the campaign trail, and everyone's talking about it, but we're tired of being last. And look, I'm a super competitor. I still coach baseball right now, which is called travel baseball.
Okay.
So I have the competitive spirit within me. I do not like to lose. And I do not want Louisiana to lose.
Right.
I want us to win. I want us to win on Saturday evenings in Tiger Stadium, and I want us to win across the board with education for our children, business for our families so they can make a good wage and a good living, and then for our city. I mean, I love Baton Rouge. I don't want to go too long, but we moved here from Shreveport, Louisiana, back in the mid-'80s, and we were from Shreveport. Little more redneckish. Now I love my Shreveport people. That's my family, my 318. Right, my Bossier folks. I love them to death. Great food there. But when we crossed over around Alexandria and we moved into Baton Rouge, I thought I was in heaven.
Yeah.
I had the Tigers. I had the LSU campus. The city was bigger. We had the bridge. We had all this stuff. I thought I was in heaven. And I've never left. Yeah. And we moved over. I've lived off Jones Creek in that Coursey area. Now I live over off Bluebonnet area. But that's where I grew up. My roots were started and never wanted to leave. And I love Baton Rouge. Yeah. There's just a vibe about it. The capital city, the whole bit. Yeah. And so I want us to win. Yeah. And so I want to be one of those guys down on the floor, in the House, on a committee, walking the streets, moving around the state as a champion and a winner. That we are going to win. I don't want to be negative. We're going to be positive.
Yes.
We are going to win.
You have to.
So let's do it.
You have to have hope. So, well, look, I appreciate it. Those are those are the sort of questions we ask all the candidates, but we do provide a little bit of an opportunity, a window for you to talk about anything else you would like to talk about, make your pitch, to ask our viewers to support you, because I know you can always use things like money and volunteers. And we have, I did a little research last night. We have quite a few subscribers that live in your district, awesome. And most of my friends live in your district. Okay. So anything you want to share with our audience about you, your campaign, or anything else you want to share?
Well, yeah, great. I appreciate that. Look, friends that are out there, and people that I haven't even met yet, people that live in District 66. I want to be your next state representative. I would love for your vote. I am asking for your vote. Next coming couple of weeks, obviously, we're going to have people on the street with their T-shirts on and the signs holding, especially on the 14th. We have a huge social media from Facebook, Instagram to Twitter page, that I would certainly love for you to go to my page, which is Richie Edmonds State Representative, and like the page, follow the page, share the page. I'm always putting stories up on Facebook of some little ads or my little daughter speaking. That's or whatever. Cute. I would love for you guys to do that because it gets the word out. It goes into your sphere, goes into your influence groups, and people can get the word out. Obviously, with the financing part, yes. I mean, we're raising money, we're spending money, but always, donations are always helpful. You know that. It always can cover something. Someone asked me the other day, well, what if I give you this amount of money, what will that pay for? Well, it just pays for something, you know. So from signs to T-shirts to ads to mailers, I mean, stamps, envelopes.
Oh, yeah.
All of it will be spent, believe me. But that would be Richie Edmonds Campaign. And then there's an address to it. But my website is actually voterichieedmonds.com. My cell number is 225-892-6000. And then my email address is richie@govertical.com, and that's the Cajun Go. Okay. So it's GEAUX vertical.com, and that's my live work, live cell, not a campaign made up, because I want to be able to get back in touch with you. So, look, David, I really appreciate you letting me be on with you. It has been a pleasure just letting me speak and talk and visiting again.
Well, we're first off, I am very sincere when I say thank you so much for taking the opportunity to offer yourself for public service, because it is service, and I know you know that. I know your dad lives his life that way, so we certainly appreciate. I think all the people of Louisiana should appreciate when people do that. Some people might want it for power or privilege, but the reality of it is it's service, and it doesn't pay a lot. It's long hours and long days and long nights. And it can be very, very stressful. And so we not only you giving your time and energy, but it takes away from your family, and everyone sacrifices a little bit. But really appreciate you and your previous service, because you've served the community in a number of different ways. And then most importantly, you're a businessman. You sign the front of a check, as we say.
That
that
is correct.
Because I am too. And small business is the backbone and core of our economy, no matter where we are. And so many of the things you talked about are dear to my heart. My son left and went to Virginia. Crime is it creeps and it affects all of us, but we seem so desensitized by it that we get up in the morning and read the paper and it just it's really, really bad. So having someone who'll do this sort of things that you want to that you're going to do and or talk about doing, and then the ability to work with other people is such a big deal, right? Trying to find common solutions to common problems is not that difficult if we all just sit down and really in our Christian heart make a concerted effort to work together. So I appreciate you being here, appreciate you offering yourself for public service, and perhaps in the runoff we'll get you back.
I would love
if
to.
there's a runoff, I mean, I don't know.
Look, we're not shooting for that, but November 14th will be the next day. So would love to be back with you.
We eat that elephant one bite at a time. Exactly. So thanks again for being here. So that is our show. We are the Pelican Brief. You can find us on all of the social media platforms at Pelican Brief 225. You can find us on all the podcasting platforms. If you happen to be watching this on YouTube, we're on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, all of them, and you can find us there. You can also watch us on YouTube if you happen to be listening and you'd like to look at the video version of it. Our handle at YouTube is at the Pelican Brief 225, and then you can also email us at thepelicanbrief225@gmail.com. Thank you for being with us today, and until next time, we are the Pelican Brief.
The Pelican Brief is an off-script production.